Hey, what's up, Insanity crew and Team EndureFit and the entire TD Nation? I wanted to do a video about Recovery Week. We're headed into week 4, and I know a lot of you are starting to feel really beat up. And how do I know that? Well, the workouts are really intelligently designed, and they know that you're going to be beat up at week 4. And not to mention, I'm getting private messages from you guys as well saying, hey, I feel sluggish. I don't feel like I'm as strong as I was in week 2 and the beginning of week 3. And that's perfectly normal. And in fact, that's where you want to be, headed into week 4. You want to make sure you push hard and get, as much, you want to get as much out of it as you can. You want to be really broken down. And when you go into recovery week, that's when you're going to do these workouts that are going to lighten up a little bit, but they're still going to encourage good blood flow to get the nutrients to your muscles that it needs to recover, heal up, and build back stronger than you were before. And when you get into the week after recovery week, you're going to see that that's where the magic happens. And you're going to notice that all the hard work you put into that first phase has really paid off. If you're doing P90X, most people see pull-up gains or push-up gains, and with cardio levels, you see the cardio level increase. You just feel it after the recovery week, but you can't blow it off. You have to repeat this with me. Recovery is part of training. It's really important that you don't blow it off. You don't skip the recovery workouts, or you just start sleeping in. You get yourself out of the habit and get off schedule. That's my number 1 tip, is if you get up and work out at 5 a.m., recovery week doesn't mean you sleep in and you just sleep the whole week. Because I can tell you this from experience, I still struggle with it, and I know that when you get out of habit, it's hard to get back into the routine. So don't do that to yourself. Do the workouts, and they're still going to be intense. I think a lot of you are going to be surprised at when you do these workouts. You're going to be like, whoa, this doesn't feel like a recovery workout. But they're designed to keep you involved with the program and to keep you working. Although it's to help the blood flow to get to all these muscle groups that you've been working. And it's still going to work them out, but it's going to let them rebuild themselves as well. So with Insanity, you have the same workout every week. If you want to do a day or two of something different, that's fine, but don't overdo it. Yes, you want to be active. You want to get you want to get the moving around, walking, jogging, biking. But I would really encourage you to try and stay in the habit of doing something on your same schedule. So in addition to the workouts and the recovery workouts in the program, I wanted to talk to you about a couple other tools that I use, and that's the foam roller. And if you don't have a foam roller, I highly encourage you that it's a great investment. It's if you've gone from someone who wasn't eating healthy, who wasn't working out, to now, this is becoming part of your lifestyle, the foam roller is going to be an amazing tool that you're going to use to keep yourself healthy with this new lifestyle. Because you have to kind of transition from, okay, I was doing nothing, now I'm doing something, but now you kind of have to almost adjust yourself as well to keep your body fine-tuned so that you don't get injured, so that you can perform as well as you can day after day after day. So for me, a foam roller is a huge way to do that. And what it is the big thing it's used for is the myofascial release. This was introduced in P90X2, and the fascia is actually like a thin, tough protective coating around your muscle. I believe it actually coats some other connective tissue as well, but it holds the muscle in place and it also helps protect the muscle. But what happens is with intense workouts and overtraining and overuse, it starts to tighten up, and it starts to, get sore, and it starts to restrict the muscle movement. So it's part of, your body tightening up, and so it's really good to loosen that back up, break that tissue down, so that you retain that mobility that you had. So the foam roller is great for that. So I use it for my IT band a lot, and basically all you do is you focus on the muscle, you let your body rest on it, and it's not going to be comfortable. You're going to feel it when you hit a spot that's aggravated and tight. It's gonna light you up a little bit. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, that spot right there in my leg or my arm or my back is not happy. But you let the body rest, and it just kind of smushes that connective tissue and breaks it down and loosens it back up. It's a really great tool. Beachbody actually sells foam rollers. They're competitively priced too. So if you're interested in getting it through Beachbody, talk to your coach. You can also find foam rollers at some of the general, sales stores and some of the sporting goods stores. I would caution you though that you want to make sure that it is firm. If you grab a foam roller and it's very squishy, that's not what you want. These things are this thing is pretty solid, because you really want to allow your leg or whatever to rest on it, and you don't want it to give. You want it to hold its ground, and you want it to really work that connective tissue and break it back down. So in addition to foam rolling, a lot of people with Insanity complain about their feet hurting, and that's completely normal. And I use a pink tennis ball. Yeah, it's pink, and I'm man enough to use it, so that's what I use. But really what's going on here too is connective tissue like your tendons and ligaments in your feet, they do not adapt as fast as your other muscles. A lot of people, when they first start working out, they get sore really quick from lifting, and then after a week and a half, their muscles have adapted a lot. With ligaments and tendons, that's not the case. It takes quite a bit longer for them to kind of adapt to what you're doing. So with Insanity, the high intensity and the torque you're placing on your feet, because you think about it with like ski abs and in and out abs, your toes are getting bent back completely, and your feet are probably not used to that. So it's uncomfortable. I mean, if I haven't done Insanity in a while, I feel it when I go back to Insanity almost every time. So I use a tennis ball, I just stand on it in my bare feet, and I just roll it underneath my foot and allow it to massage that connective tissue and just really break the tissue down, and it's just a great way to handle that foot pain. Another option is, this isn't frozen, but a frozen water bottle. The same thing, you just freeze it and you just roll it underneath your foot, and a lot of people like the cold on their foot as a healing mechanism as well. I'm not a fan of cold on my feet, so that's not for me, but it may be, it's pretty common for people to do it, so I wanted to mention that as an option. So in addition to just these, fairly inexpensive tools for you to add to your fitness equipment, the one other thing I feel like I should touch on it because I really, really stress this to my team, and that's the PiYo workout. It's really the Beachbody workout that's different. It really focuses on flexibility and low impact, and I think we all need that, especially as you really get involved with this process and you get caught up in it and it becomes more of a lifestyle. It's really common for people to do Insanity and they think, oh, if I do Insanity once, I'm going to do it twice. And oh, I'm used to doing one P90X workout, now I'm going to do a Les Mills workout. And really, one of those workouts a day is enough. But if you're that gun-ho about it, I really think you should really consider PiYo as being your second workout, because the strength needed for some of the PiYo moves, and if you're doing it correctly, it is tough. You can kind of squeak by doing some of the moves kind of haphazardly, and you're not going to feel it, but if you really push yourself and get deep into a squat and you're holding some of those poses as good as you can, your legs are going to be on fire. And not to mention just the flexibility increases you're going to see from it. And I really think that should be your second workout if you're doing 2 workouts a day. So that's my advice for recovery week. You know what? Like, injury and just keeping our body in tune the best that we can is part of it. That's how you're going to keep this going long term. And I really think that these are all just really good things to keep in mind if you're new to this. You know, it's easy to say, oh, recovery week, not important. I'm just going to keep working hard. And the truth is that recovery is part of training, and that's when the magic happens. So don't blow it off. That's why the workouts are designed that way. So listen, we know what we're talking about. We've seen it, we've experienced ourselves, and we know it works. So that's it. All right, thanks guys. Bye.